is what you should start to do. Probably scoffed at it a little bit, right?
I wouldn't say I scoffed at it, but I was like, it was a disappointment because like what I had done my whole life wasn't good enough, and like they checked with the GM at the time at Ruben Amaro, and Ruben Amaro was like, yeah, go for it, you can drop down, which told me like they don't have any plans for me over the top, so this is what I have to do. And I mean, at least they gave me the opportunity, and they didn't.
Coming off AL Player of the Week honors, where he hit over 400 with 3 homers, Bobby Witt Jr. was all gas, no brakes.
And grounded inside the bag and up the line. Played poorly off the sidewall by Carpenter. How far will Bobby go? And Vance Wilson is going to let him come to the plate. He is in there.
To say Bobby is on a tear is an understatement. His gap-to-gap power and that lightning speed have him among the major league leaders in hits, stolen bases, and WAR. He also just happens to be one of baseball's premier defensive players.
Goodness, that's why he's one of the best in the game.
That is how you win a Gold Glove in back-to-back seasons, and last year earned a Platinum Glove.
Baseball fans are bearing witness to something special.
He's their go-to guy in all situations, whether it's defensively, offensively, running the bases, complete player.
A primetime player in his prime.
Dust and papers swirling onto the field, all-star ballots like a mini tornado out there. This will be a wonderful night for the grounds crew.
Well, you never know what you're going to see.
No, the players all turning away from that wind so they won't get the dust in their eyes. This looks like a scene out of a Humphrey Bogart movie.
You could describe Tulsa as a big, small town or a small, big city.
Tulsa is a very mixed city of arts and film and sports. I mean, it's a true melting pot of all kinds of things.
Professional baseball in Tulsa, it's actually older than the state of Oklahoma.
It's nice to play in front of, fans that you see on a daily basis.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
I think shakeup was probably the thing we were just after. And so I think what you're doing when you do that is you're just kind of giving guys just a different look in terms of like when they're going up there. But yeah, that's it. Not a lot of thought.
When you have guys like Ramirez and Alcantara coming up, and they may not be in the lineup right away, what are they getting from their time here, even if they're not necessarily on the field during it?
Yeah, I mean, I think specifically for Pedro, you're in spring training, so you're around the guys, so I think you know the guys. I think that's the organization of a day and kind of the preparation for a game is just vastly different than in spring training. And so you're giving them a kind of window into that. And I think that's important. To understand and to feel probably more than anything. So that's part of it. Kevin got a pretty good feel of that last September, I thought. And so I think he's a little more aware of it and understands it. But I think for Pedro, it's certainly brand new.
Kevin going to play a lot?
Kevin's on the roster. There's spots to get him in there. Absolutely, yeah.
Again, just a day or two just to get spots together or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that was most clear from yesterday is we just needed to get Ian a break. And look, we've got a lot of guys not hitting. That's kind of why we're in the middle of this, right? So it's but I think Ian's probably feeling it the most. And so, he's the guy we're going to get a break to.
What's the conversation like with you, between the two of you? Like, a guy that's been around 10 years like that, he's been through struggles before. What was that conversation like? What do you say to him?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's the great, this is the great thing about, and the crushing thing about our game is that, like, you, all the guys know that they're going to go through this, right? But when you're going through it, it just hurts, right? And you don't feel like it's, you don't understand how you got there. You don't understand how you're going to get out of it. And it feels worse than it is. And I think that's, that's kind of what he and I talked about yesterday. And you kind of laugh about it. I don't want to, like, minimize that or make that sound that we're not trying to get it right, but it's what the game does to you a little bit. It's what performance does to you. It's what out of character performance does to you. You have to put it in the right frame to get out of it a little bit sometimes.
The pitching matchup next on The Score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk on your ride home. Spiegel and Holmes, afternoons 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score.
Hey, baseball fans, step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be, with no bet fees in Illinois. Circa Sports brings you player-friendly pricing, enhanced in-game options, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
Cubs hosting Houston, Game 2 of a 3-game.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Grand Slam burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli, or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
It's something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
The last time at bat in Reggie Jackson's career.
I would compare my career to a farmer. It rained when you wanted, sunshine when you wanted to. And when you loaded up your truck, the prices were at an all-time high.
Broken bat up the middle, base hit, Reggie Jackson.
On the way home with a pocket full of money, you'd be smiling. Huh?
Here's Michael Harris. Harris, 4 hits in the series, and he smokes one to deep right center field. Rising and reaching at the wall and out of here. A punishing blow by Harris. Worked the count and then absolutely mangled that ball over the right center field wall. And it's 2-0 Braves in the top of the first inning. Woo, that had some heat coming off of it.
Jumped out of here.
A home run by Michael Harris went 418 feet off his bat at 111 miles an hour. Woo.
Kai-Wei Teng, who's 2-3 with a 2.61 ERA. It's time for baseball at Wrigley Field. Cubs, Astros, Pat, Ron, next on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Great Cubs guests all season long. Rahimi, Harrison, Grody, middays 10 to 2 on 104.3 The Score.
Joel Gott Wines is a true all-American classic and the go-to wine for America's favorite pastime. Since 1996, Joel has selected the best vineyards in California to craft balanced, approachable, and food-friendly wines. Whether it's a classic Chicago dog or Italian beef sandwich, Joel Gott is the perfect pairing for any ballpark staple. Whether you're watching at Wrigley Field or at home, look for Joel Gott Wines in the wine aisle at your local retailer. Joel Gott Wines, official wine partner of the Chicago.
Chris Sale's 10th start of the season was a beauty. He goes 7 innings, giving up just 1 run, and he is in line for his first win against the Marlins.
An outstanding outing tonight by Trey Savage. 6 innings, 2 hits, did not walk a batter, struck out 8, kept the Yankees off the scoreboard.
11 strikeouts from Kyle Harrison.
Matching a career-long outing for Kyle Harrison and a dominant 2-hit shutout for the left-hander. Wow.
Outman over. Outman with the dive! Superman hit-saving play by James Outman.
Ryan drops his glove on the mound and gives James Outman a standing ovation.
First pitch of the game, the pitcher hits it out. A living, breathing statue, Shohei Ohtani.
You just don't dare take your eyes off of him.
It's a walking history book.
It's ridiculous what he does.
The people are welcoming, they're loving, they're caring. So if you're looking for a familial feel, definitely Asheville.
It's Asheville. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
They're excited to be back and back on their feet, so it's been awesome to see the rebuild.
Winning or losing, like everybody's there having a good time rooting us on. So I've always enjoyed that the whole year.
You play here at the tourist park and you feel like you're back in the old days playing real baseball.
Nestled right into the mountains there.
That's right on a cliff.
I'm going to be McDowell. I'm grabbing onto one of Cecil's legs, holding on for dear life. If it gets any tougher, guarantee you Cecil's not going anyplace. And Seiko, a towering pop-up. This ought to be interesting. It's coming back toward first base. Fielder can't get it.
This is actually maybe the first time that I recall they're going to call a game on the wind.
Well, they're going to stop it.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games, all the games, pregame, postgame, and everything in between. This is baseball your way, with real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Houston won the series opener 4-2. So the Cubs will try to get back into the win column today as they send right-hander Colin Ray to the mound against Kai-Wei Teng, a right-hander for Houston. It's cool, it's cloudy, a little fog in the air, but it's not uncomfortable at all. It's 64 degrees with a little breeze going on. No chance for rain, we are told. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for today's game. The lineups are brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Leading off for the visitors from Houston, Jeremy Pena at shortstop. Batting second and playing third base, Isaac Paredes. Batting third, the designated hitter, Yordan Alvarez. Christian Walker batting fourth, Walker at first base. Braden Shoemake is the second baseman. Houston's right fielder is Cam Smith. Zach Cole is batting seventh and playing left field. Bryce Matthews in center field, and batting ninth and catching Cesar Salazar. Those are the Astros. We'll get you the Cubs lineup as we have time. We'll take a break, come back with the first pitch. Right after this, you are listening to The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Your outdoor oasis awaits. Save 20% on premium Benjamin Moore exterior paints and stains now through May 25th when you visit your locally owned Benjamin Moore store. Benjamin Moore's premium quality all-weather exterior paints and stains help protect and provide luxurious results so you can give your outdoor space a fresh new look for the season. Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a locally owned retailer near you. Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
It's game time, and that makes it the perfect time for a Flight by Yuengling. Just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and packed with flavor. Flight is the next generation of light beer. From the oldest brewery in America, look for Flight wherever you buy beer. And Patrick, Cubs have had their struggles there of late. And today, for the first time, Craig Counsell with kind of a major lineup change and kind of shuffled the deck a little bit and has given Ian Happ a day off. So interesting what he's doing today.
Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup then, Ron, as you bring that up. Pete Crow Armstrong leading off in center. Alex Bregman batting second and playing third base. Michael Busch at first. Nico Horner, the cleanup man. Nico at second base. Michael Conforto in left field. Seiya Suzuki in right field. Batting seventh, the DH, Moises Ballesteros. Miguel Amaya catching. And Dansby Swanson batting ninth and playing shortstop. We are ready to go. Beautiful Wrigley Field. Field is in great condition. The big right-hander Colin Ray works out of a stretch, brings the first pitch to Jeremy Pena. It's in for a strike, and away we go. Ron, as you think about Ray working against these Astros today, we'll get some of your thoughts after this 0-1 delivery to Pena, who takes outside 1-1.
I think a couple things. You know, for Ray, always command and moving the ball around the zone and having a good fastball command, very important. But I also think today,
swing and a miss, 1-2.
Cubs need someone to step up and pitch a really good ball game. You know what I mean? You need some guys to have really good days. And for Ray to give the Cubs a good long start would be great for them. You know, if you could get into that seventh inning, that would be outstanding for the Cubs.
Pena 1 for 5 yesterday, right-handed batter, and the pitch on the way is outside. And along those same lines of discussion, Ron, some of the Cubs' offensive players need to step up and drive in some runs in clutch situations.
No doubt about it. And that's where the lineup shuffle comes in today, and just trying to, you know, get to a situation where you get a couple of those key hits and you kind of break the ice here a little bit.
High fly ball, shallow center, drifting in. Pete Crow Armstrong calling and making the catch. Horner was out in the area. So was Swanson briefly. But it was Pete Crow Armstrong who had the easier play coming in. He called everyone off and made the catch. And it's a breezy day at Wrigley. It might be a tricky, windy day. We'll see.
Yeah, there's some fog that's kind of rolled into, you know, kind of around the lake. When you look out by the lake, it's foggy. There's some sunshine on the field, but the ball in deep center field it's foggy.
High fly ball to deep left off the bat of Isaac Paredes at the wall, and making the catch is Michael Conforto. On some days, that would have been long gone. But just a little hint of a breeze blowing in from left kept that ball in the park, and it's out number 2.
Colin Ray throws his fastball. He wants it on the outside corner, and it ends up leaking towards the middle of the plate at the knees. Paredes hits this ball a ton, but hits it a mile in the air. And as you said, that little bit of wind blowing in kept it in the ballpark.
64 degrees at Wrigley. Now the big right-hander Ray working on Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez, their best hitter, hitting .308. He's got power, 15 home runs. He's driven in 31. Left-handed hitter, slightly open stance. Takes a very healthy swing. And this time he takes for a strike 1-1. Game time temperature of 64, brought to you by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. No score, first inning, 2 down, bases empty. The next offering low, 2-1. Baseball, you play almost every single day for 6 months. You know you're going to have some rough patches. You're going to have some good times and winning streaks as well. But why is it, Ron, that the winning streaks seem to go by so very quickly and the losing streaks seem to take forever?
Right. Yeah. The days when you're losing, probably because there's a lot of sleepless nights in those.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah,
swinging a foul back.
Been there. You're struggling. You take an individual player who's been struggling driving in runs, and the team is struggling driving in runs. Yeah, those nights, you spend a lot of time looking at the ceiling. It's a difficult thing.
3-2 pitch outside. Alvarez gets the walk and becomes the game's first base runner. 2 down, first inning. The batter, Christian Walker.
Colin Ray trying to stay away from Alvarez. Missed the outside corner twice, barely, but missed it. First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Astros wear those distinctive orange shirts in their road uniform attire, gray trousers, and the right-handed batting Walker takes inside for a ball. Cubs in their home whites with the blue pinstripes all over, blue hats, numbers, sleeves, and socks. Uniform descriptions brought to you by Benjamin Moore. The 1-0, Walker drives one deep left field, trouble all the way back and gone. A line drive home run for Christian Walker, number 12 for him. It looked like an off-speed pitch, and his timing was perfect on the swing.
Yeah, he doesn't try to do too much with this. He just drops the head of the bat down on it and just kind of hits that backspin line drive just to the left center field side of the well. And because of where that ball is hit, it ends up in the bleachers about 3 rows back.
33 RBIs now for Walker, and Houston has taken an immediate 2-0 lead here in the first. Braden Shoemake, the batter, left-handed hitter, takes a strike. So walk and a home run. Ray with a record of 4-2. ERA just under 5. Next pitch is dribbled foul right side. Not much familiarity between Ray and these Astros hitters, and vice versa. He's only made 3 career appearances against the Astros, with a career record of 2-1, ERA of 4.3. Bouncer to second. Horner has it, lobs to first to end the inning. But some damage is done. A 2-run home run by Christian Walker. And at the end of a...
Be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such...
Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Mully and Haw.
Like an Academy Award came to life. How long do you think that took to get ready?
It's really not fun facing a guy with that kind of stuff, I'll just tell you that.
Presented without comment.
It's a raft, it's got an outboard motor, it's got a little barbecue, and it's got a hot tub.
Look at that.
I mean, come on.
American ingenuity.
That is living.
What else can go wrong here? Where are the Angels in the outfield? They're everywhere.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY@villageofbedfordpark.com.
Pete Armstrong batting leadoff today. Had a home run for the Cubs offense yesterday. He belted a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. That was not enough as the Cubs dropped the series opener. Now Pete hitting leadoff, and he'll take high for ball 1. Right-hander Kai Wei Teng with a record of 2 wins and 3 losses pitching for Houston. Solidly built right-hander, works out of the stretch. And the pitch is a strike. Ron, if you were in that Cubs lineup, what would be your plan against Kai Wei Teng?
Well, Teng, scouting report says he has multiple pitches. To me, as a hitter, you would eliminate some of those and just understand he's got a breaking ball and a changeup.
Swinging a foul back.
He's got 2 fastballs that both are firm with velocity. But what the 2-seamer that I saw compared to his 4-seamer, I don't think he has a lot of movement with either fastball. So to me, he would be fastball, breaking ball guy, and both of his breaking balls stay somewhat on the same plane and go across the zone.
Swinging a foul back, 1-2. He's facing the Cubs for the first time in his career. If that's the case, Ron, I'm sure a lot of guys in the lineup for the Cubs are going to be seeing him for the very first time. So you probably have a lot of discussion after the first few guys bat in the first inning to share some information.
Absolutely.
Here's the 1-2. Line foul down the right field line.
And the other thing in my first at bat, I would try to be as patient as possible and try to extend my at bat as long as I could to see as many pitches as I could from him. Now, you know, the other thing that the caveat to that is if there's runners in scoring position, you throw all that out the window and you go to hitting.
Pete takes outside, the count 2-2. Pete's average at .228. His homer yesterday, his 6th of the year, wearing light blue batting gloves on either hand. And the 2-2 from Kai Wei Teng. Swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball, and that's out number 1. 2-0 Astros. First inning, the batter Alex Bregman.
Pitch up in the zone. Pete put a pretty good swing on, but just underneath it. Strike 3. Pitch 88 miles an hour on that off speed. Speed gun powered by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Bregman, the former Astro, takes a strike. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Ball 1 is outside to Bregman. Chad Whitson is the home plate umpire today. Bill Miller, the veteran, working at first. Brian Walsh at second, and the third base arbiter is Chad Fairchild. Here's a pitch outside, 2-1. Sun shining brightly now. Great crowd. Lots of blues in the stands. White shirts, a few red and orange and greens. Here's a high pop fly on the infield. Coming over, the first baseman Walker on the mound makes the catch. And that's out number 2. And it brings up Michael Busch.
Well, let's see now if Bushy can do a little damage here. With 2 outs, you're going to take a shot at the seats. Tang with the fastball and changeup a lot. He'll sweep that breaking ball down and in to the left-handed hitter.
The announcement of the umpire sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Busch hitless in 3 at-bats yesterday, takes a strike. Michael's another guy that needs to hike up that batting average. He's at .229 right now. 4 home runs, 27 driven in. But there are a lot of guys in that category. You know they can do better because they've proven it in the past.
Yeah, Michael had an incredible year last year. Offensively, over 30 home runs, 90 RBIs. Very, very productive season for him.
Cubs playing in game number 52. Still in the 1/3 the first 1/3 of the season. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that ends the inning. It's a quiet first inning for the Cubs. They go 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 1, Astros 2, Cubs nothing on the score. And the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Craig Counsell. Looking for the best team in the American League? You got to go to Tampa.
And the Rays have won another.
The Rays are cooking, and they're doing it with their own special recipe. It starts on the mound where Drew Rasmussen, Steven Matz, Nick Martinez, and Big Mac Shane McClanahan are holding it down.
And a big swing and miss. He's got him with the hard stuff.
This rotation is just suffocating opposing hitters, pitching to a sub-3 ERA backed by a lights-out bullpen. At the disc, Junior Caminero is proving he's an elite middle-of-the-order masher.
And that one's gonna go! Home run, Caminero!
And don't sleep on Jonathan Aranda and Yandy Diaz bats either. Those three have combined to drive in more than 90 runs already this season. Playing in the same division as the Yankees, Tampa will need to maintain their momentum. Maybe even kick it up a notch. But this season's Rays seem to be up to any challenge.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
May 25th, save 20% on premium Benjamin Moore exterior paints and stains at participating dealers. Visit benjaminmoore.com.
2 Astros leading the Cubs 2-0. The second inning is brought to you by Seaglass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California Coast to you wherever you are. Pat?
All right, Zach. Zach will be along in the 5th inning to work with Ron Coomer. As we move to inning number 2, Cam Smith takes the first pitch. It's called a ball, but Miguel Amaya says, let's challenge that one and take another look, and it's a good challenge. It's a strike.
Chicago retains it down.
Good pitch right at the bottom of the zone. So you always worry about doing the challenge right away early in the game, but that one worked out.
Next pitch, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Colin Ray. Going to make our attendance picks in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game here soon. It's another huge audience. Very few empty seats. Over 37,000 were here yesterday. And the next pitch low and outside. I see rooftoppers across Sheffield Avenue in right center. Across Waveland Avenue in left center. A lot of bodies here.
Yeah, the neighborhood was packed coming into the ballpark today.
Low and outside for a ball. Beautiful green ivy on the outfield walls all the way around now.
There's something about coming into the neighborhood on these weekend day games when you get here early. It's like the neighborhood has its own buzz to it. Well, hours before the game.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball fooled him. Cam Smith tried to check about 3/4 of the way through the cut, and that never has a happy ending.
Yep, very good pitch by Colin Ray. Starts out outside corner in the zone, ends up down and away. Good pitch.
One away, second inning. That's the first strikeout for Colin Ray today. And the left-handed batting Zach Cole takes outside.
Defensive. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat.
I was going to say strikeouts round brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
You could read that about 10, 12 times today for the Cubs pitchers. They'd be all for that.
Colin Ray would be very happy. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's outside on the corner, and that's going to be challenged.
Batter's challenging the strike ball.
Now this time the batter is challenging it. He thought it was outside, and it was.
Yeah. Pitches the ball. Houston retains their challenge.
Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. We've got a couple of them already here in the early going.
Chad Whitson, home plate umpire, might have his feelings hurt. He's been challenged twice in this half inning.
You know how body language can tell you a lot of things. You know what I mean? When you see people on the field or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get the feeling that the umpires don't like that idea, that whole challenge thing?
Is a high pop fly on the infield. Coming down the line in foul territory is Bush, and the catcher, Amaya, makes an incredible catch. Bush did not see the ball exactly, and he took the wrong route. Amaya moving over toward the on-deck circle, first base side, lunging and making a basket catch, which is very difficult with that catcher's mitt, Ron. What a play.
Well, there are a lot of things going on in that play. The ball's coming down, and he has to start running towards kind of the coach's box at first. Amaya never took his mask off.
Bryce Matthews takes ball one.
Usually the ball goes up, the catcher pulls the mask off, throws it aside, and now he never took his mask off. Bushy did not pick that ball up very well that you described, and Amaya with kind of a sliding catch.
Fly ball to center, shallow, playable. Pete Crow Armstrong will gobble it up. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Colin Ray. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. 2-0 Astros on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
Swirling onto the field, all-star ballots like a mini tornado out there. This will be a wonderful night for the grounds crew.
Well, you never know what you're going to see.
No, the players all turning away from that wind so they won't get the dust in their eyes. This looks like a scene out of a Humphrey Bogart movie.
The newfangled idea of the time was night games, and teams thought that the shiny material of satin would reflect the stadium lights better. But satin comes with all kinds of issues. Despite all its drawbacks, this shiny material really does create a show-stopping jersey.
Appliance.com for full details.
Fans in Illinois can purchase Cubs Charities 50/50 raffle tickets starting at 10 a.m. through the end of the game at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning. Pat?
Nico Horner will lead off this second inning. Nico batting cleanup today. We may have to do some research and see if this is the first time he has hit cleanup in a regular season ball game for the Cubs. I don't recall him batting cleanup ever before. Do you, Ron?
I'm not sure early, maybe even last year, in the middle of the year and early, if he did or not, because he was hitting 5th, 6th at times, and then he started getting moved up. But I'm not sure. If he has, it hasn't been many.
Let's see if Nico can start a Cubs rally in this second inning. And he'll take outside, the count 2-1.
Defensive alignment. Sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling, handle. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Playing Nico straight away and fairly deep, especially in left field.
Now the 2-1. Nico takes a strike, 2-2. Kai Wei Teng has worked mainly out of the bullpen this season. He has transitioned to the rotation. Only recently, this is his 4th start of the year. And now the pitch. Nico takes down low. It's 3-2.
Yeah, if you look at his pitch numbers per game, the last ball game his pitch count was in the 70s. So he's finally getting kind of stretched out where, today might be 85 or 90 possibly.
Let's see if Nico can get on the payoff pitch. It's outside and low. There's a base on balls. Many times that'll start a rally. Let's see if that's the case here as Michael Conforto comes up.
How good at bat by Nico, not chasing any of his pitches away. Feel like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch. Now, anybody feel like Bosching today? Paul's ring is he's in. Okay.
Maybe after the game for me, Ron. Here's a stretch by Kai Wei Teng. And his pitch to Michael Conforto is outside, ball 1.
Now, Pat wants the Bosch after the game. Zach, we nominate you to make the Bosch prediction of the game.
I believe Pete Crow Armstrong will hit a home run.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Okay, I love it.
Conforto will take a strike, 1-1.
They come in bunches, right?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Kai Wei Teng. I like that name. It's his 4th start. And the pitch in there for a called strike. Wouldn't it be something if his street address was Highway 10? Kai Wei Teng on Highway 10, reporting for duty, sir. Maybe it's just me.
That's why you're a Hall of Famer.
Short lead by Nico at first. And the man from Highway 10 will make a pickoff throw over to first.
Now, can I ask you a personal question?
Oh, please do.
I know kind of your routine, like you know mine early morning, especially for the day games. We get up, a little coffee, and right away on your computer, researching for the game. Is that correct?
It's pretty much every single day.
Yep. Same here. We're definitely creatures of habit. Now, when you saw who was pitching against the Cubs today, you've been waiting to use the old Highway 10 for a long time, haven't you?
I couldn't wait to get it out. I was pretty proud I waited until the 2nd inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow right center. Matthews in, Smith in. Matthews, the center fielder, makes the catch alongside the right fielder Smith, and that's out number 1. Horner still at first, and the batter Seiya Suzuki.
Ball in the middle of the field. The wind is not blowing very hard. It's just kind of slightly blowing in, so the ball will carry, but there has not been a ball that's been really affected by the wind yet.
Christian Walker with a 2-run home run in the 1st inning for the Astros. And here's a fastball away to Suzuki. This guy's got a pretty good arm, Ron.
He really does. He's got a good arm and he's got a good sweeping hook. And he really likes to use the breaking ball. It seems like here in the early going, he's saving that slider or breaking ball and he's throwing a lot more fastballs.
There's another fastball strike. Teng beat Texas in his last outing. 5 shutout innings of work. Short lead at first by Nico. He's twitching a little bit. And perhaps that was noticed by the pitcher. And he makes a pickoff throw to first, not in time. Nico will disrupt the concentration of a pitcher, though, when he's on base. And the pitch on the way. On the outside corner to Suzuki, 1-2.
Yeah, that's that good breaking ball. It starts out inside and it ends up in the outside corner. He's got a good one. That pitch might have been off the plate away. Cubs did not challenge.
2-0 Houston, bottom of the 2nd inning. Here's a pitch way outside. Cubs trying to snap a 6-game skid. It started on the south side the last 2 games against the White Sox. Then they lost all 3 to Milwaukee earlier this week, and yesterday they lost. Horner jumping away at first. There's a bouncing ball to short. Pena will step on second, throw to first. That's a double play. The inning comes to an end. 6-3 on the double play. At the end of 2, Houston 2, Cubs nothing on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Spiegel and Holmes, great Cubs guests and more on your way home 2 to 6 on 104.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards
to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards? What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
Now let's check out some plays from the field that only a mother could love.
Thank you to all the mothers out there. We love you.
Too sweet.
Nicely done with the sign.
Vientos is not going to want this on his highlight reel, I'll tell you that.
Some just don't know how to catch them.
Hubba Bubba on Bubba.
You can even smell on his bat. Hitters are funny. Now he's talking to it.
Then Peters has some problem.
Heads up. Man alive.
Look, Mom, check out these top defensive plays.
Adele leaping, and he makes the catch.
He's unreal. One of his patented run-saving miracles.
Welcome to the show, kid.
Put a star on that for Jarvis.
Picked it right off the top of the grass. It was a snow cone.
That was sensational. Spectacular play by the Padres first baseman.
He jumps and he makes the catch. P-Crow awesome. Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch. What a catch by Eli White.
How about that?
Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Third inning, 2-0 Astros. A 2-run home run by Christian Walker in the first is the difference. Cesar Salazar, left-handed batting catcher, first up against Colin Ray here in the third. We welcome Danny Parkins to our broadcast booth, formerly of The Score, currently the co-host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1. He lives in New York these days, but he was the host a few days ago of the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure Radiothon, and congratulations, Danny. Over $800,000 was raised. I commend you and all of the others who were involved in that program.
Pat, Coom, thank you. It's great to see you guys. It's a labor of love. I do it for my brother Brad, who passed away 3 years ago in April, and it's an honor.
Fly ball to right. Suzuki, almost in his tracks, makes the catch, and that's out number one.
Yeah, being able to come back every year, it's not lost on me that Mitch Rosen and everyone at Odyssey and Crane Kenny and the Ricketts family and everyone at the Cubs. I don't live in Chicago. I don't work at the Score anymore, but they still trust me to kind of operate this thing under their banners, and so it's the honor of my career, is what I always say.
And you had some kind of lineup that you had. When you start looking at who you had on in the last 24 hours, pretty good, and it really touches a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to have Rizzo on this year. Obviously cancer impacts everybody, but there's so many Cubs connections to the cancer world.
Fly ball to left center, shallow, racing in. Pete Crow Armstrong makes a nice sliding catch. He just outran that baseball. It's out number two.
Man, I want a 1, 2, 3, but I'd like to stay with you guys a little bit longer. We could work a count or something. But no, Rizzo came on, and Ian Happ, who lost his dad to cancer, got real emotional, telling some great stories about it. James Tyone, obviously a cancer survivor. So that's, and obviously Lester a few years ago. So, there's so many.
Counts with your brother.
Council with my brother. They grew up together in Whitefish Bay, and we do it in honor of Rhino and Lynn Bramer. And so, there's so many people in and around the Cubs family. And part of the Radiothon the biggest part is raising money for research. But, the second part is to let people know that, that they're not alone in this, and that there's a huge community around supporting everyone who's been touched by cancer.
Yeah, Danny, the Radiothon has concluded, but people can still make donations. What would be the easiest and fastest way to make that donation?
CubsForACure.com. It's easy. I mean, if CubsForACure.com. I know there's some people in the ballpark right now listening to us, but they can just scan the QR codes that they keep showing on the video board. But
even an old third baseman can remember that.
Yeah, CubsForACure.com. That is the easiest way
Very good.
to do it.
Isak Paredes fly to the warning track and left his first time. He fouls it back, 1-2.
Can you tell quickly your story about your brother and Craig Counsell and kind of their relationship?
Yeah, they were childhood friends in Whitefish Bay, as was Michelle. Craig's wife was very good friends with my brother growing up. And we used to joke that my brother Brad tried to get Craig to give up baseball to keep playing soccer with my brother, and it was like, it's probably bad advice.
I would say so. This part's worked out.
Yeah, baseball's worked out pretty well for Craig. But yeah, I knew Craig when he got called up to the Marlins in '97. There's a picture of me right in the first row behind the visitors' dugout holding up a Council fan club sign at which he signed after. And Moises Salou and Bobby Bonilla are just cracking up in the background because there's like, how does Craig Council have a fan club in Chicago? Yeah, day one in the bigs. Yeah. So, I've known Craig a long, long time because of my brother Brad.
And I've known Craig probably even a little bit longer because his father, John, worked in the front office in Milwaukee, and Craig would hang around the ballpark. I saw him when he was 10, 12 years old.
Awesome. All right, so you got to one-up me, Pat. Yeah, you have definitely known him
Tell
longer.
him for one-up, and he's got to make a donation now.
Cubs for Reagular.com.
There you go.
Reagular.com. Very good.
Absolutely. But no, it's Craig's he came on the radiothon, and I actually just had a really nice moment with Craig on the field because Craig was my first autograph when I was a kid. He was also my first interview on my high school radio show. Really? My brother hooked up both of them. And so I told Craig during the radiothon, I was like, you have to be, I know it's not professional for a media member to ask for an autograph, but again, I don't work here anymore, Yeah. So I told Craig he had to be my boys first. And so my 6-year-old Owen and my 4-year-old Eli got baseballs signed by Counts before the game today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Talking with Danny Parkins, formerly of The Score. Here's a pitch in there for a strike to Yordan Alvarez. Tell us quickly how things are going at Fox Sports 1 in the Big Apple.
New York is an amazing place. Chicago is home, but I do the show every day. I'm on from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Nick Wright is the star of the show, but Nick is my best friend since college. I was the best man in his wedding, so getting to work with a show that was just nominated for a Sports Emmy. Only 5 shows get nominated every year, and we're one of the 5. And so I really do think it's the best show in sports television, and I work with my best friend. So it is, in many ways, a dream come true. And so it's kind of surreal where my career has taken me.
Here's a high pop fly playable left side. Running over into foul territory, Alex Bregman makes the catch. That was not a routine play. Sun and wind. And a long way to go to get there. But, Danny, we commend you for a tremendous job you have done and will continue to do. CUBSforAcure.com. Keep up the great work.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
The beauty of this jersey is the field texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels right. I had some really cool cleats to go with it. The way it gets dirty when you slide, it just kind of like rubs off on that glitter. It's really, really cool.
Haircut at Great Clips. It's going to be great.
When choosing a financial partner, you want people you trust. At Consumers Credit Union, you can trust they put you first. Partner with the people in your corner at myconsumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Cubs are due for a rally. They trail 2-0. Still looking for their first hit today. Moises Ballesteros first up against the right-hander Kai Wei Tang. First pitch inside. Here's the next offering. Outside ball 2. Ballesteros, bright red batting gloves on either hand. His average at 241. 6 home runs for Moises. 20 RBIs. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And there's a strike.
Glad Ballesteros is back in the lineup. He's one of those young hitters that, he's gone through a little bit like the Cubs, offense where he struggled a little bit. He's been getting pounded up at the top of the zone with fastballs.
There's a ball outside, 3-1.
And that's a good take. That's that high pitch that he's been chasing or popping up. And for young hitters, you got to go through this in the big leagues. You hit one pitch and then they're going to try a different, something different.
That's ball 4 outside. He has shown that ability to have a good batting eye and not chase a lot of bad balls.
Yeah, very, very good and a great swing.
Before Amaya steps in, we step away. 10 for ID on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams. We are 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR-FM and HD1 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Amaya will take a strike. The second baseman shaded way over near the bag. That's Shoemake. So there's a hole between the first baseman and the second baseman of about 90 feet. Short lead at first by Ballesteros. Amaya hits a bullet to third. Paredes has it, goes to second. 1 over to first, double play. You can't hit a ball any harder than Amaya just did, but it was right to the third baseman, Paredes, on one hop, and it became a quick and fairly routine 5-4-3 double play. 2 down, and the batter is Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, once this ball's caught by Paredes, it's a double play. It's just a game of catch. But if you're the Chicago Cubs offensively, you just got to go in the dugout and say, just keep hitting line drives, boys. If you keep squaring the ball up, good things are going to happen. That ball was an absolute bullet to third.
Swanson, nothing for 4 yesterday, has seen his average dip down to 187. And he'll take a breaking ball outside, ball 2.
His third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union. People in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go.
And now the 2-0 serve by Kai Wei Teng. It's a strike.
Pretty good little breaking ball. He's got a big one. Starts out behind the right-handed hitter or right at you and breaks over to the outer third of the plate. So a long sweeping hook from Teng.
Dansby gets jammed and pops one up into shallow center. The second baseman lost the ball. And it's a base hit for Swanson. The second baseman, Shoemake, was holding up his glove trying to block out the sun. There's also a little fog in the area. Whatever bothered him, he could not see the ball run, and it landed to the left of his body. He never got a glove on it.
Yeah, he wasn't even close. He's 10 feet from the ball when it lands. And that's where, maybe the home field advantage helps. If you're the shortstop, you can come over and you got a different look at the ball compared to the second baseman looking right into the sun.
Pete Crow Armstrong, the batter, he'll take a strike. Swanson gets a gift single with 2 down. Let's see if that leads to a rally. Pete struck out in the first inning. Now the left-handed batter waiting. And he will swing and miss, and the count 0-2.
Pretty good location on that last fastball to Pete. Right in under his hands.
Walker holding the runner Swanson at first. Breeze blowing in. Hazy sunshine at Wrigley. Just a little hint of some fog, it would appear. And now the 0-2. Line drive down the right field line. Fair ball. Bouncing off the sidewall. Racing toward third. Swanson. The throw goes to second base. It's a long single for Pete Crow Armstrong. And the Cubs have men at first and third. That line drive just fair down the right field line.
Well, it's one of those things where a month ago when the Cubs were on an absolute roll with 2 different 10-game winning streaks, whenever the opposing team made a mistake, the Cubs pounced on them. This is one of those situations. You get 2 quick outs, a mistake is made in the infield, and now you need to capitalize.
Let's see if Alex Bregman can put the Cubs on the board. They trail 2-0 with men at first and third and 2 down in the bottom of the third. And the pitch running at first is for Armstrong, and the throw to second is in time. Pete went in head first, and he is out on a perfect throw by Salazar to the shortstop Pena, and that ends the inning. The Cubs are going to take a look at the play and see if they want to challenge it. I don't think they will. So Pete trying to steal gets nailed, and the inning comes to an end.
You could describe Tulsa as a big, small town or a small, big city.
Tulsa is a very mixed city of arts and film and sports. I mean, it's a true melting pot of all kinds of things.
Professional baseball in Tulsa, it's actually older than the state of Oklahoma.
It's nice to play in front of, fans that you see on a daily basis.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Go.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Cardinals leading the Reds 5-1. Middle 7 in Cincinnati. Jordan Walker with a 2-run home run. And already a couple of rainouts. Rays and Yankees in New York. Tigers and Orioles in Baltimore. Pat?
All right, Zach, so it took rain to slow down the Tampa Ball Club. My goodness, that they've been hot. Tampa beat New York 4-2 in New York last night, spoiling the return of Garrett Cole.
Pitch with the ball. Houston retains their challenge.
Tampa has won 16 of their last 19 games.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Yeah, they've been unbelievable, actually.
They're 19 games above 500. Didn't see that coming either, Ron.
No, not
34 and 15, leading their division.
Just looking at the standings this morning early with, having a cup of coffee, and I'm looking and just going, that's amazing. That it really is. They have just come out of the gates playing great baseball.
Christian Walker first up. It was his 2-run homer in the first that has accounted for all of the scoring in the game. Shoemake on deck, and then Smith. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 3-2 on Walker.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Beautiful green grass cut in a checkerboard style on the infield. And now the 3-2 pitch drilled to deep left. Back goes Conforto. That ball is gone. Or the umpire's going to say it's not a home run. This is going to be challenged immediately by Houston. As I thought it went into the stands and then came back onto the field of play. The umpires are going to have a quick meeting And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a home run. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it hit. Yep, Bill Miller is saying, crew chief, it's a home run. And it's almost hit in the same spot as the other one. And now Craig Counsell was going to come out and say, hey, can you review this? But I think his video group inside said, no, it's a home run. It hits. So what it does is when you go over the basket, that's the brick wall that the ivy is on. There's no ivy on that part. So there are times it'll hit that brick and bounce back in the field of play. But that was a definite home run.
Yeah, you could see it land in the basket and then pop out. So Walker has been the main man of this Saturday afternoon game. 2 home runs, good for 3 RBIs, and Houston leads 3-0. Walker now with 13 home runs on the year, and he's driven in 34. Braden Shoemake, the batter, takes a strike and now swings and misses, 0-2.
Those 2 home runs couldn't have landed 10 feet apart. I mean, they're hit right in the same spot here, just to the left center field side of the well and straight left.
Here's the 0-2. It's outside to Shoemake. Crane Kenny, the Cubs president of business operations, is going to drop by next inning and discuss the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure radiothon.
Well, it's amazing how in that 24-hour period, how much money is raised.
Now the 2-2 line towards center, caught by Horner. Nico, the second baseman, ranging toward the middle of the diamond, made the catch at about chest level, and that's going to be out number 1.
First out of the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. And I don't think there's anybody I know in our booth, and that hasn't been touched by cancer some way, somehow.
Here's a pitch outside. My father passed away of cancer many, many years ago. My sister had cancer. She survived. Here comes the 1-0 to Smith. In there for a strike. And you think of all the brilliant scientists and doctors in laboratories trying to find a cure.
Right.
And they're trying like no group has ever tried harder before in the history of medicine. And they just cannot yet find a cure. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a smash to third. Diving backhand stop by Bregman. What a play. Throws to first. Not in time. Fabulous diving backhand stop by Bregman. He quickly got up. It always takes you about a split-second run to get your bearings and to get your feet ready. And that extra time cost him, and he had to hurry the throw. He bounced it off the glove of the first baseman, Bush. I think the runner would have been safe anyway, but a great effort by Bregman.
Yeah, great play as he goes into foul territory on the dive and pops up and makes a good, strong throw. Cam Smith, one of the better athletes in our game, period, was going to beat that play at first base, but a very nice play by Bregman.
Now the left-handed batting Zach Cole takes ball 1. 3-0 Astros, 4th inning. Bregman now in on the grass at third. Cole robbed on a very good play by the catcher Amaya, catching his pop fly back in the 2nd inning. There's a pitch high and away, 2-0. Cubs have a brand new player in uniform, Kevin Alcantara, recalled from AAA Iowa before the game. Tossed to first. They got him picked off. Cam Smith gets picked off at first, and I don't think the Astros are going to challenge that one. Smith pretty obviously, Ron, was going to try to steal a bag, and he got nailed.
Yeah, he was going towards second, his first step, and Colin Ray has a great pickoff move, and it starts with his feet. And he throws a perfect strike right on the back of Smith, and all Bushy has to do is catch the ball and tag him.
Zach Cole fouls it away, 2-1. Wind still blowing in a little bit from center. But Christian Walker, with 2 home runs, has proven that you can still hit homers on a day like today. You do need to probably keep them down and make them more of a line drive home run.
Yeah, I would say the ball to straightaway center would probably get affected the most. But, you know, we've seen here at Wrigley where the wind is blowing in a lot harder than this. This is just a slight breeze.
Outside ball 3. Kevin Alcantara, 23 years old, hitting .242 in the minor leagues, but 15 home runs. 15 homers, tied for the most among all AAA players in baseball currently. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul back out of play.
Now Cubs looking for offense right now, and you know, Ramirez got brought up. He was in AAA and he was very hot. He had a great start to his season. Now Contra's been hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Inside, and Cole draws the walk. So that pickoff play looks even more important now. 2 outs and a man at first, and the batter, Bryce Matthews. A little hard to see Lake Michigan. The lights have been turned on. It's kind of a foggy day.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because we got blue sky, it seems like, right above the stadium, but just, you know, a quarter mile, half mile out towards the lake, it's all fog.
Kind of a mix of fog and clouds, I think. Not that I could be smart enough to tell you the difference between the two.
Between fog and
clouds.
And clouds? Okay. Tommy Hotovy going to the mound. I can't help you, so I'm going to the mound. Amaya went out there to talk to Colin Ray, and Tommy Hotovy went out there. They figured they'd have a little chat and try to help us out, seeing as we're in a fog.
And usually are. Now, Zach Zaidman, on the other hand, he is very much in tune with weather and clouds and fog. Aren't you, Zach?
I have no idea how to describe what we're viewing here at Wrigley Field.
Well, we don't know what to describe what we're saying, so we're all good.
I would say fog would simply be clouds that are lower in the sky. And I'm going to stick with that theory. It's probably way off base. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bryce Matthews, and he'll take a strike, 1-1.
Actually, you're kind of right, Pat. Fog is a low-lying cloud formed when water vapor condenses into tiny droplets near the Earth's surface.
I majored in water vapor in college. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Matthews.
Tell us more.
I didn't say I graduated. I majored. And it became a minor real quick. Ground ball to short. Swanson goes to Horner. There's the force. That's the inning. But the Astros get a run on the home run by Walker. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning.
They say it's a game of numbers. Pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Mi trabajo es sencillo, cachar ese ritmo que solo nuestra gente tira y regarlo por toda la temporada. Flow mayor is where all those rhythms meet. Porque el flow no es de un solo jugador, es de un corillo entero que prende estadio. De San Diego a Santo Domingo y cada parada en el camino. Cuando estamos activos, la liga sube de nivel. Esto es Flow Mayor.
Now let's check out some plays from the field that only a mother could love.
Thank you to all the mothers out there. We love you.
Too sweet. Nicely done with the sign. Vientos is not going to want this on his highlight reel, I'll tell you that.
Some just don't know how to catch them.
Hubba Bubba on Bubba.
Look at him smelling his bat. Hitters are funny. Now he's talking to it.
Then Peters has some problem.
Heads up. Man alive.
Look, Mom, check out these top defensive plays.
Adele leaping, and he makes the catch.
He's unreal.
One of his patented run-saving miracles.
Welcome to the show, kid. Put a star on that for Jarvis. Picked it right off
the top of the grass. It was a snow cone.
That was sensational. Spectacular play by the Padres first baseman.
He jumps and he makes the catch. Becrow awesome. Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch. What a catch by Eli White.
How about that?
For our climate, James Hardie Building Products siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Alex Bregman's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Huh?
Alex Bregman leads off the fourth inning for the Cubs, and he'll take a strike. Cubs need some base runners. They have hit into 2 double plays today. Here's the 0-1. It's outside for a ball. It's time for us to make our guesses in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Not too many empty seats from where we are sitting. There's a pitch in for a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, huge crowds. This whole homestand, actually.
I'm going to guess 38-7-8-3. 38-7-8-3. 1-2 pitch, line to deep left center on the run. Cole makes the catch. It jumped off his bat, but he hit it kind of on the end of the stick, I believe, Ron, and the ball just did not carry.
Yeah, it's a breaking ball. Kind of starts out in the zone, and it just up. Might have caught the edge of the strike zone, but you're right. He caught it off the end of the bat a little bit. Kept it in the ballpark. I'll say 38,200.
Michael Busch checks in. He struck out his first time. And the pitch outside for a ball.
I'll go 37,500.
Paul Zarang, engineer par excellence. He'll make his guess. And now the 1-0 to Michael Busch from Kai-Wei Tang. In there for a strike. On this weekend where we are talking about trying to find a cure for cancer. Just saw the video of Ryan Sandberg on the board here at Wrigley. I miss him already.
Yeah.
I really do. He was a good person. Enjoyed being around him. He was humble. And what a tremendous ball player he was.
Great player. Super guy, you know.
9 straight Gold Gloves for his work at second base. League MVP. Pitch outside, 2-2. I'm just glad I got to know him as a person and as a friend.
Same. We'd have some great hitting conversations through the years.
Now the 2-2, fouled away. Well, one thing the two of you had in common was using the entire field. He hit a lot of balls to right and right center.
He did, yeah. We talked about that too, and also talked about, you know, how you have to be an offensive player here in Wrigley Field and understanding the differences.
Fouled away by Busch.
You know, cold and windy and the wind blowing in as opposed to it's warm and, you know, either no wind or the wind blowing out, and the difference in the way you have to be as an offensive player to have success in those two climates here at Wrigley.
Now the 2-2 to Busch, fouled away. And we really haven't reached the second part of what you just said, Ron, and that's the warm weather and the humid days and the wind blowing out and the 11-7 scores. And those days are coming. They're not here yet.
Yep, I would agree.
Here's the 2-2. And it's taken high for ball 3, 3-2.
Yeah, I would think we can count on one hand the days that the wind has been either neutral or blowing out here so far, and we're closing in on what's today's date, May 23rd.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss by Busch. Strike 3. Sharp breaking ball by Kai-Wei Tang.
Yeah, it's that hook down and in for the punch out. He's got a good one, there's no doubt. I got to see some film on him this morning. Fastball pretty straight. It's firm but straight, whether it's two-seamer or four-seamer. But that breaking ball really does go across the zone. It is a good pitch.
3 strikeouts. Here's a bouncing ball off the bat of Horner to the second baseman Shoemake, and he throws to first in time. 1-2-3 inning. Cubs offense really struggling as we go to the 5th inning. It's the Astros 3 and the Cubs nothing. This is The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask Evertree Insurance Services in Frankfurt if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Cubs fans, it's Pat Hughes. To ensure that your business goals get across home plate, consider relocating.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. And the Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer heading up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that? I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Somebody help me. Little guy got a souvenir, and he's got a tale to tell. Mom's just kind of oblivious to the fact that she's struggling.
It's a rather lengthy one. She is very attentive so far as this long story draws out.
That young man looks like he was given some signs. Oh no, he's actually copying the pitcher, isn't he?
He's just going to give up. He's going to give up and pretend this is what he wanted to have happen.
He's in a tent right now.
He's going to hang out in here.
Lose him so young, and just a year ago, really just after we did a.
Looking for the best team in the American League?
But it's why we're here today. Like I'm trying to lift my spirits and lift our spirits, and we're doing something instead of just mourning his loss. We're trying to change the outcome, and we'll raise well north of $1 million in a day just to do that, and that's a tribute to all of our fans and all those who are giving to CUBSforCure.com. Thank you to everyone who's helping.
Mm-hmm. Here's the bunt by the leadoff batter Salazar, and a backhand play by Horner. What a play by Nico. I don't know if I've ever seen that play before. A bunt toward the second baseman. He came in, barehanded the ball, and then a backhanded pass to Bush at first. Have you ever seen that, Ron?
I think he throws this ball through his legs. He does. Now,
my goodness.
I do believe we were just talking about a 9-time Gold Glover. I think Rhino would be proud of that play. I don't know if you could do that any better than what Nico just did.
He's smiling. He is smiling. That's something.
What a piece of improvisation. There's no way you plan out a play like that, Ron. That's amazing. Here's a pop-up on the infield. It's going to be playable for Swanson in very shallow center field, and that's out number 2. Crane, I know you were part of the Cubs for a Cure radiothon over on the Score the other day, and over $800,000 was raised during a 24-hour period, and then today, maybe $1 million. Is that the?
Yeah, I think. Well, we'll I think collectively we'll approach $1.5 million or more. Our 50-50 raffle go into the pot today. We have these great corporate partners. We've got AbbVie, who's a big donor today, but all year long, as you guys have been calling, $241 for every strikeout, and that's because there's 241 new cancer patients every hour, and so they're doing that all season long. Advocate, our great healthcare partner, big giver.
Paredes hits a bouncer to short, long throw for Swanson, and it's a good throw to end the inning. Crane, thank you for dropping by. It's a commendable endeavor that everyone is involved in, so keep up the great work.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
All right, boys.
Astros don't score. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Houston 3, Cubs nothing on the Score, and the Northwestern Medicine.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Shea Langoliers, who's made the most noise in this game out of anyone. Shea drives it to deep center field. Varsho going back. Still going. As far as he can go. This game is tied. A crowd silencer in Toronto. A 2-homer game for Langoliers. And we are all evened up at 2.
Knotted in 2s, and Langoliers gets one center cut and unloads, just pummeling baseballs.
It's the great mascot race. Here's the pitch. And they're off. Look at them go. It's a close race. Listen to that crowd. They're heading for home. Here they come. It's the play at the plate. It's pause. Congratulations on winning the great mascot race.
CUBS, Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
On Tuesday, June 2nd, the Cubs take on the A's at 7:05 in the evening. Fans who purchase tickets at Cubs.com/specials will receive a special edition University of Illinois and Cubs New Era cap. Don't miss this offer. Pat?
Michael Conforto first up, takes a strike. Kai Wei Teng has been dominant. 4 shutout innings. Cubs have 2 hits, both singles. Conforto trying to crank up a Cubs rally here in the 5th inning. Takes a strike. 0-2. Sometimes, Ron, every single guy is trying to personally help the team break out of a slump.
Yeah, it gets difficult down in that dugout, I can tell you that.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Conforto is out number 1, chasing a low outside changeup, and the batter is Suzuki.
Yeah. And as bad as it can get, you have even one inning where 3 or 4 guys come through and get some hits, and next thing you know, you put up a 3 spot in an inning and keep the line moving a little bit. It can flip over and change. You know, kind of letting the air out of a balloon, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Thanks to Crane Kenny for dropping by. Again, the website is CubsForACure.com. Seiya hits a pop-up foul off to the right and out of play. The lights have been turned on, having only a minimal effect right now. In fact, Ron, let me ask you, on a sunny day like this, why would the lights be on?
I'm not real sure, to be honest with you. Other than that, you can, as that ball's fouled off by Suzuki off to the right. You wonder if this fog rolls in, periodically, if that just helps, with the lighting on the field. But I really don't have a good answer for you with the lights being on here at this point in time.
Suzuki wrapped into a double play his first time. The pitch to Seiya is down low.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Kai Wei Teng. T-E-N-G. Here's the pitch. Drilled in the air, deep left field. If it's fair, it's going to be a home run, but it curls foul. Seiya hit it plenty of distance, but foul by about 20 feet. And it's just a long, loud strike.
But a good swing by Seiya and great contact, and he pounds this ball. And that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for more guys to square the ball up. And those are all positives, even if that ball goes foul.
The next offering is outside. It's 2-2. 3-0 Houston. 2 home runs by Christian Walker, once with a man on, the other a solo. And that's the extent of the scoring in the game. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled away by Seiya. He's taking some good, healthy cuts.
Yeah, Seiya's had some good looks, some good swings.
Most of the action later on in the big leagues. This is the only game, to my knowledge, going on concurrently. Actually, the Pirates are in Toronto. No score. Second inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Seiya is out on strikes.
Tang looked like took a little bit off that sweeping hook that he throws, and Seiya out in front of him. It's a big breaking pitch. It starts out inside to the right-hander, almost at him, and it'll end up on the outside corner. It really sweeps across the zone.
Moises Ballesteros takes outside for a ball.
Now, normally I would say for Moises, he's had some struggles here as of late and hadn't played quite as much as he did at the beginning, but this should be a good matchup for him.
Here comes the 1-0. Inside ball 2. Why do you say that, Ron?
Well, the fastball is straight. It's firm but straight. And he likes to pitch to the top of the zone with it, but not too much elevated. And that breaking ball sweeping coming back into Ballesteros is right in his wheelhouse.
2-0. Inside ball 3. Not swinging here.
And he walked his first at bat. I think Tang kind of feels the same way. He's not really giving him much to hit.
Cubs are down by 3 runs, so he's going to be taking this one, you would surmise. Here's the 3-0, taken for a strike. Now he's ready to cut.
Wind barely blowing now here at Wrigley, so the ball should carry fairly well. What little wind there is coming in from center field.
And the 3-1 from the right-hander. And that's taken for ball 4. That's the 3rd walk issued by Kai Wei Tang. He hasn't paid any penalty for the previous 2. Let's see if this one comes back to sting as Miguel Amaya steps in.
Amaya, he hit into one of those 2 double plays you were talking about. He absolutely scalded one at Paredes at third, a 1-hop bullet. And Paredes made the catch. It was right at him, but probably the hardest hit ball of the, for sure, for the Cubs. Hardest hit ball of the day. First out in that top half of the inning. That was sponsored by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi. One price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Amaya takes ball 1 low and away.
We need Paul Zarang's guess in the Biddy's Beverage Depot attendance game, and the maestro has just handed me a card that says,
what do you got, Ziggy?
37,922.
Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Amaya. And it's swung on and missed. Paul, where did you get the nickname of Ziggy?
Apparently it's a secret.
Paul is very close to all of the controls that control the microphones.
Yep.
So he can speak at any time. Here comes the 1-1. Down low for a ball. Wasn't there a musician by the name of Ziggy Pop?
Yeah.
Didn't David Bowie have like a Ziggy nickname or stage name of some kind? That wouldn't have been where you got it, right, Paul?
Paul traveled around with some reggae bands. I know that. Marley's. Maybe they gave him the nickname Ziggy Man.
Swinging a miss 2-2. Ziggy Man?
Yeah.
Apparently it's very private to Paul. He's not
so.
willing to divulge the exact nature of it. That's okay. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Zach Zaidman will join Ron Coomer in a moment. We've played 5. Cubs are struggling. It's the Astros 3 and the Cubs nothing on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday with Rahimi, Harris, and Grody, 10 a.m. to 2 on 104.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Esto es flow mayor.
Diseased aortic valve using a tiny catheter, and she was back on her feet in just a few days. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Shop Grand Appliance for expert advice, fast delivery, and the lowest prices every day on top brands like KitchenAid, Maytag, and more. Visit grandappliance.com for full details.
A reminder that all opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Getting set for the top half of the 6th inning here at Wrigley Field, the middle game of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Astros. It's Houston with a 3-0 lead. Houston with 3 hits today off of Colin Ray, 2 of them home runs by the same guy, Christian Walker. A 2-run home run in the first, and then a solo job in the 4th. Cubs have just 2 hits in the ball game, both of them singles in the 3rd inning, one by Dansby Swanson, the other by Pete Crow Armstrong. Yordan Alvarez will lead things off for the Astros here in their half of the 6th inning. He's walked and scored a run and popped out into foul territory. Alvarez, a powerful left-handed batter, who's hitting at .302 on the year with 15 home runs and 31 RBIs. Colin Ray working on the first base side of the rubber. Peers in, acknowledges the sign from his catcher Amaya, puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, works his motion and deals. And Alvarez looks at a strike, a sinking fastball, clocked at 92 miles per hour. With the defensive alignment the Cubs are currently using, they are not defending the third base position. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball foul off to the right, 0-2. Bregman is playing kind of exactly where a shortstop normally would. And the shortstop Swanson up the middle, just to the left of the second base bag. And now time called. Manager Joe Espada of the Astros and the Houston trainer walking out. And they're talking to the home plate umpire as well as taking a look at Alvarez. And Coom, he's going to be removed from the ballgame.
Yeah, he's coming out of the game. I don't know. He took a swing and didn't seem right. Now, you don't know if he had mentioned something earlier in the game. But he is coming out. He just fouled the ball off. And I'm looking at him, and I don't see anything in the... I know he fouled the ball off his front foot. Oh, I see what he did. That's got to be a back or ribs. Here's what he did. He was giving it the, where the front side, so it would be his right side in his back rib cage. He was kind of trying to stretch. And that's that oblique issue.
So Zach DeZenzo will step to the plate as the pinch hitter. He's a right-handed batter, and he's at the plate with an 0-2 count, replacing Alvarez. Ray delivers, and a swing and a miss, strike three, one away.
Now the strikeout will go to Alvarez. If something good would have happened, it would go to the pinch hitter. So Alvarez gets the strikeout.
Did you like that?
I never had that happen to me, so I wasn't giving up my at-bat. But I never got hurt in the middle of an at-bat either.
I was going to ask, you could have stepped in for someone who got banged up. And
yeah, you just swing as hard as you can. The only thing could happen for you is positive.
Christian Walker swings, broken bat looper into left. It'll drop in front of Conforto for a base hit. Walker's third hit of the ball game. That one does the least damage. He homered his first two times up.
Well, if there's any good news about that, it's they broke that bat that he hit 2 home runs with. That's a positive.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. See what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Cubs need to put some balls in flight.
Braden Shoemake looks at a fastball off the outside, 1-0. And it's perfect hitting conditions, right? The wind barely a factor.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful day here at Wrigley. Bright sunshine, hardly any breeze.
Man at first, one away. Here's the 1-0. Shoemake swings and misses at a fastball, 1-1.
I would say a crisp spring day, but, it's certainly not cold.
And the temperature was 60 degrees at first pitch. Bregman playing wide of third in on the edge of the infield grass. The pitch. Shoemake swings and misses. Took a hefty cut at a fastball, 1-2. And then with 2 strikes, Bregman now drops back. Cubs not defending the third base position again, with Shoemake hitting from the left side. Ray sets above the belt. And here comes the 1-2. High and outside to Shoemake. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
First out in the inning, that's sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that.
The fog has dissipated, so that's a plus. Here comes the 2-2. And a high fly ball hit to deep left center field. Crow Armstrong at the wall, leaps and makes the catch against the ivy. Excellent play by Pete Crow Armstrong. Retreating back to first, Christian Walker. Pete Crow Armstrong with a wonderful play in left center field.
Pete has a beat on this ball and leaps up and catches this ball right at the very top of the ivy, just underneath the basket. So this ball misses the basket by less than a foot. And that ivy is not all that fun to jump into with the bricks behind it, but Pete does a very good job of getting to that ball and making a big play.
Just to the left of the 368 marker in left center field. Now the batter, Cam Smith, and the pitch. This is off the outside. That was a slow-moving breaking ball by Colin Ray. 1-0 the count. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Astros with a 3-0 lead. A man at first in Walker. Smith waits for the 1-0. Ray delivers. That one misses off the outside again. Same pitch, a sweeper from Ray, 2-0. Big hole on the right side of the infield with Horner playing up the middle just to the right of the bag. Bush holding on Walker at first. A long set by Ray and the pitch. And a pop fly on the edge of the outfield grass, angling toward the line in right. Nico Horner makes the catch for out number 3. And Walker stranded on the bases. Middle 6. It's the Astros 3 and the Cubs nothing on the score. The Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Talking the MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game. Post-game. And everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
This home half of the 9th inning, White Sox down to their final 3 outs. It is Kelnick flying this one deep to center field. Back it goes! And the Sox start the 9th with a bang. Kelnick, his first home run of the season. And the Sox are not going away quietly.
That was a bomb. 446 feet to straightaway center field. And a no-doubter. It's a changeup, and Kelnick crushes it. This one is up in the shrubbery, and that's a good bolt.
Wow. It's like an Academy Award came to life. How long do you think that took to get ready?
You know, it's really not fun facing a guy with that kind of stuff. I'll just tell you that.
Presented without comment.
It's a raft. It's got an outboard motor. It's got a little barbecue, and it's got a hot tub.
Look at that.
I mean, come on.
American ingenuity.
That is living.
What else can go wrong here?
Where are the Angels in the outfield? They're everywhere.
Chicago.com.
You'll score big with everyday deals at Suits 2020 in Niles. From men's suits and formal wear to sports and casual wear. Suits 2020. We're more than just amazing suits.
Dansby Swanson's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck? He's sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Swanson digs in against Kai-Wei Tang. The Astros right-hander deals. Swanson swings, and it's a pop fly. Shallow right center field. The right fielder is there. Smith makes the catch, fighting the sun. And Swanson is retired on 1 pitch to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Astros with a 3-0 lead.
That looked like one of those balls Smith didn't really have a beat on it. I was wondering if he's coming down and he was under it. But he was right under it, actually. Made it play easily.
So here's Pete Crow Armstrong, who has one of the 2 hits on the day for the Cubs. He's in the leadoff spot today. Left-handed batter. Tang delivers and misses low and inside. 1-0. Third baseman Paredes playing in on the infield grass with PCA at the plate. Tang kicks and fires, and PCA hits a high fly ball. Left center field. On the track, making the catch is Matthews, who had a beat on it all the way. 2 down.
Pretty good swing by Pete. Puts a charge into this one, and, you know, it's just hit right in the gap, and it's caught 1 step in front of the ivy in left center field. That's a good at-bat for Pete. I know there's not a lot of positive outcome, but that is a good at-bat.
Alex Bregman digs in. 2 down, bottom 6. Houston up 3-0. Here's the pitch. Bregman bounces it foul off to the left, 0-1. Mentioned a couple of good at-bats by Pete today. Yesterday, some good at-bats as well for Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, and it counts, you know, running him up there in the top of the lineup. Maybe it'll shake things up a little bit. And, you know, sometimes you put a little more on a guy that's a talented young guy, and, you know, they respond to that. So they're going to take another look at this ball strike to Bregman. I think it's a strike.
If it's a strike, Houston retains their challenge.
Initially, it was called a ball high and outside, but the Astros get it overturned.
Ball strike challenge, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
So 0-2 now on Bregman. Tang delivers. And that one misses off the outside, a fastball. 1-2. Craig Counsell saying before the game, tweak the lineup just to have guys have a different approach, different look. The pitch. Bounced foul right near the Cubs on deck circle where Michael Busch has taken his practice swings, 1 and 2. Ian Happ getting the day off. Just about every Cub offensive player struggling entering play today. The 1-2. Inside, almost hit Bregman. He leans out of the way. 2-2 the count. Bregman hitting at .248. He's 0 for 2 today. Now the 2-2. A bouncing ball hit to short, fielded between the legs by Pena. The throw across is in time to get Bregman. Cubs go down in order in the 6th. We head to the 7th with the Astros up 3-0 on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Chicago, this is Dansby Swanson. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, Neil, where are you going? He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects.
Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame.
Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
When choosing a financial partner, you want people you trust. At Consumers Credit Union, you can trust they put you first. Partner with the people in your corner at myconsumers.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Colin Ray still on the mound. As this 7th inning gets underway, Zach Cole, left-handed batting left fielder, leads it off and swings and misses at the first pitch. Christian Walker's home runs have been the difference in the game. A 2-run home run in the first, a solo in the fourth. They were carbon copies of one another. Line drives to straightaway left, right near the indentation of the wall, and both of them just did leave the yard. Both were hit hard, though, line drives. And that's it, 3-0, Houston leading. Ray to make his 87th pitch of the day. And it's a swing and a foul back out of play. It's got to be frustrating, Ron, for a guy like Ray to be pitching a good game, but to have his offensive mates not supporting him.
Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things. You just got to keep grinding. Let's see, giving up 4 hits. 2 of them were just line drives to left. They ended up in the first row of the bleachers, and that's all the scoring we got in this ballgame.
Colin has walked 2 in the game. Fastball is taken high for a ball. I have him for 4 strikeouts in the game. And now the 2-2 pitch to Cole. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball got him. Cole is out on strikes. 3-0 Astros, 7th inning. I just saw Anthony Rizzo pop into our booth to say hello. He's going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." He looked nice and relaxed.
Very nice, yeah. Retirement will do that for you. You don't think about missing those sliders any longer. You know what I mean? You just remember the good things.
Anthony had a lot of good things in his career.
He certainly did.
Catching the final out of the World Series on the throw from Chris Bryant at third base in Cleveland. What a moment. Fly ball right center, pretty well hit. Angling over Suzuki and Crow Armstrong. Seiya makes the catch. He lost that ball in the sun temporarily. He was trying to block out the sun with his glove. He fell down to his knees and made the catch on a play that was anything but routine.
Yeah, you talk about just sticking with the play, and it is so easy to bail out of that play and just pull your head away and kind of protect yourself. And for Seiya to stay in there that long, that's a heck of a play.
2 down, 7th inning. 7th inning stretch coming up soon. Take a look at some baseball history on this date in baseball history, brought to you by the Village of BedfordPark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. The 1-1, big bouncer to a first base side and foul. Play kind of unfolding in slow motion. The batter never left the box, so I knew it probably was going to go foul. Salazar stayed right near home plate. Bush wanted to let the ball bounce over at first, thinking it might take an awkward bounce back into fair territory.
I wonder if Salazar was acting like the ball hit him and the home plate umpire did not signal foul ball.
Little decoy move there.
I don't know. And then Michael Bush thought the ball was in play and it just went foul. Yeah, kind of an odd play.
The umpire usually is aware if the ball hits the batter in the foot or not. You can hear it. Outside, it's 2-2. Three 0 Astros, top of the 7th inning. And the pitch, low and inside, 3-2. Let's see what has happened on this date in baseball history, May the 23rd. Now here's one. 1965, Mets outfielder Ron Swoboda.
Oh, yeah.
Took up his position in right field wearing a batting helmet. And I'll explain in a moment. It's rather comical. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Inning over, time for the 7th inning stretch. 3-0, the Astros lead. This is The Score on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Today's
Anthony Rizzo is going to sing. Former Cubs World Series champion and cancer survivor, Anthony Rizzo.
2016 World Series champion and cancer survivor, Anthony Rizzo.
What's up, Chicago? Got my friends with me here to sing the stretch. Let's hear ya. On 1, on 2, on 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
I need some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever come back. Root, root, root
for the Cubs.
They don't win.
It's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the
old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Spiegel and Holmes, great Cubs guests, and more on your way home. 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
This ball's hit deep to left field. Ryan Reynolds clears the deck. Wow! Bangs off the facade of the second deck. anchored down with his first home run. Back-to-back Bucks. 5-0 Pittsburgh.
That's what you want to see from Brian Reynolds. Driving the ball, using the middle of the field, and got that pitch out over the middle of the plate. Fans.
Here's a pop-up down the third base line, drifting foul and out of play. Michael Busch, Nico Horner, and Michael Conforto, the first 3 scheduled batters in the inning. Cubs have been limited to just 2 hits. Kai-Wei Tang has left the game. And now Okert is the new pitcher. Stephen Okert. We saw him yesterday as well. A long-legged lefty delivers. Here's a pop-up on the infield. The second baseman will make the catch. Shoemake, he and Pena, the shortstop, gently colliding. Neither man got injured. Right near second base. And that's out number 1.
A little inside gas right on the hands of Michael. Little jam shot out, a little soft jam shot out to second base.
1 away. Here is Nico Horner. And he'll take outside. It's nice to hear the ovation, the reaction when the fans heard the name Anthony Rizzo and realized he was going to sing. Here comes the pitch. Strike to Nico. Something tells me he will receive that warm greeting forever.
Forever. You know, there's a whole bunch of us, and me included, that came to Chicago. That pitch misses wide. You know, I was a Cub fan as a kid, but I came back here as a free agent, and we all had hopes of being that team that broke the curse.
Sure.
You win a World Series.
Sure.
I came back to a very good team. They were in last place the year before, but Cubs went out, signed a bunch of free agent players. We had a very good team. We were in first place for about 3.5 months.
Nico bounces one to third. Routine for Paredes. Running throw to first in time. 2 down.
But you always, you know, forever, we've all wanted to be that team that came in and, you know, flipped the script and you win a World Series here for the Cubs. And that was the team that did it, you know, and they had a great group. A lot of homegrown guys. They had some free agent guys. You had some veterans that knew how to win. And it was the perfect mix of guys playing, and they did it. And that will forever be etched into Cub fans' brains forever.
Kevin Alcantara is going to pinch hit for Michael Conforto in this spot. Here comes the 1-0 to Kevin, and he'll take a strike. He was just called up from the minor leagues earlier today. Getting back to that 2001 team, though, you and your teammates put on a great show, and you were a contender almost all year. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count 1-2.
Yeah, I think we were in first place for, you know, I don't know, probably 3 good months at least.
And you were right in the picture until the final, I would say, the final week.
Yeah, it was the Houston Astros who took over first place. We had some injuries. There were a few of us that got hurt the last week and a half of the season. I was one of them. Hurt my knee and had to have knee surgery for the second time that season. But it was, you know, unfortunate. We had a very good team, but
Alcantara waits for the 1-2 pitch, takes low and inside for a ball. 2-2.
I don't think you could enjoy something any more than we enjoyed 2016, could you?
It was unbelievable. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. The Cubs offense remains quiet. We go to the 8th inning. Astros 3, Cubs nothing on the score, and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs talk to start your day. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on 104.3 The Score.
For the Cubs tonight, it'll be Ben Brown. 2-2.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Big time. Stayed alive with the challenge, and Brown finished him off anyway. Just cost him a couple extra pitches, strikeouts for Ben.
3-2 from Brown. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Huge strikeout for Ben Brown. Vaughn down on strikes. Ben Brown again, back-to-back Ks in the 4th. He struck out 4 of his last 5. Right now, Gray with him, complete command.
some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs, and then next day, I got to eat arepa with eggs. So my mom make it for me, and then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Esto es Flow Mayor.
This is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
Inning sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K, Patrick, to donate your car today.
We were just talking about Anthony Rizzo and the 2016 World Series and the fact that he'll always be welcomed very warmly back to Wrigley Field and into Chicago in general because he was part of that special year. Here's a bounce to the third off the bat of Pena, fielded by Bregman. The toss across in time, and that's out number 1. Jeremy Pena is 0 for 4. The scoring in the game, it's simple. 2 home runs by Christian Walker. A 2-run blast in the first, a solo in the fourth, and that is it. Cubs limited to just 2 hits through the first 7 innings. Isaac Paredes takes a strike 0-1, but this one is not over yet. Did you have any things you would tell yourself, Ron, as if, you know, knowing that things are not looking good, but this game's not over? So one little play can be the difference in a ball game. It can get everything turned around.
Yeah, I just think when you're playing in times like this, the biggest key is a couple things. One, don't try to be Superman.
Driven toward deep left center on the run. Pete Crow Armstrong makes a diving try and just missed it. It's going to be a double for Paredes. Great effort by PCA. That's 100% effort right there. He dove on the track, running at full speed, landed on that hard pan dirt. Maybe got the fingertips of the glove on the ball, but it was a great effort.
Yeah, this is all you got to get to this ball. Great effort by Pete is right. I think you don't, to answer your question, you can't be Superman. But the thing is, you have to do your job really well. You can't be that person that's making mistakes. And if everybody does that, then eventually you break out of this and things start working.
Trent Thornton, the new Cub pitcher in the game.
7th inning stretch was sponsored by Volvo XC90, room for everyone. Ready for wherever the road takes you.
Here's a drive into the gap in left center on the run. Alcantara makes the catch. Couple of hard hit balls off Thornton. One went for a double. Alvarez, the new Alcantara, the new left fielder, Kevin Alcantara, stayed on that line drive. That was not an easy chance.
Yeah, line drive bullet, low line drive. Cubs pitching changes sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Thornton, the right-hander, working on Christian Walker. Walker has hit 2 home runs. He's driven in all 3 runs in the game. And just for good measure, he singled in the 6th. And now the 1-0. It's outside for a ball.
What do you think about the catch of the game sponsored by Catch Des Moines? That play was a real trip, and so is Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours at catchdesmoines.com. How about the ball Pete caught in the ivy going up right under the basket making that catch.
That's the one, Ron. Yep, that's the one that immediately came to mind. Walker takes down low ball 3.
Along with that, we got a tough play of the game. Is there a tougher play than Nico made, flipping the ball through his legs to first to get the out?
Unbelievable.
We'll see that one in the highlight reels for a long, long time.
And from our angle, I thought he did a behind the back pass like you see in basketball.
Yeah, the old Magic
but
Johnson.
It was even more creative. It was between the legs. It's something you can't practice. It's got to be completely improvisational, which makes it even more impressive. Shoemake, the batter, has the count of 0-1.
Quality Starts today are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Start your next project with quality paints from Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
Walker getting the intentional walk. Cubs figured he's done enough damage. Let somebody else try.
Absolutely. Colin Ray with a quality start today. Great job by Colin going 6. One guy did the damage. 2 home runs by Walker, 2 line drives to left. Other than that, Colin Ray threw a very, very good ball game.
Yeah, the 0-2 chopped foul by Shoemake. Let's see how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. It looks like I was a little bit closer. The actual figure, how about 40,000 in the house today?
Oh, wow.
40,017. One of the biggest crowds all year. There's the 0-2 line toward right coming in. Suzuki makes the catch. And that ends the inning. Let's see if the Cubs offense can come alive as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Astros 3, Cubs nothing on the score in the Northwestern.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
Now let's check out some plays from the field that only a mother could love.
Thank you to all the mothers out there. We love you.
Too sweet.
Nicely done with the sign.
Vientos is not going to want this on his highlight reel, I'll tell you that.
Some just don't know how to catch them.
Hubba Bubba on Bubba.
You can even smell on his bat. Hitters are funny. Now he's talking to it.
Then Peters has some problem.
Heads up. Man alive.
Look, Mom, check out these top defensive plays.
Adele leaping, and he makes the catch.
He's unreal. One of his patented run-saving miracles.
Welcome to the show, kid.
Put a star on that for Jarvis. Picked it right off the top of the grass. It was a snow cone.
That was sensational. Spectacular play by the Padres' first baseman.
He jumps and he makes the catch. P-Crow awesome. Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch. What a catch by Eli White.
How about that?
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores.
W, Chicago's injury law group. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
Check out that scoreboard sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app, save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. One final on the board. The Cardinals an 8-1 drubbing of the Reds. Jordan Walker had a 2-run shot in that game for St. Louis, his 14th home run. Rays and Yankees rained out in New York. Tigers and Orioles rained out in Baltimore. And among the games in progress, the Blue Jays lead the Pirates 1-0 in the top of the 5th. George Springer, a leadoff home run. White Sox and Giants scoreless. Last of the first, also bottom one, no score between the Mariners and Royals in Kansas City. Pat?
Zach, we've got some defensive changes in the game. Jake Myers is the new center fielder. Eniel De Los Santos, the new right-handed pitcher, his first delivery to Suzuki is taken for ball 1. So Myers in center. Matthews, who was in center, comes in to play second base. Now the big right-hander comes back and fires a strike, 1-1.
We're getting word that Alvarez left the game in the middle of his at-bat with back spasms.
Suzuki 0 for 2, has wrapped into a double play and struck out. He takes down low. 2-1. This big crowd ready to make some noise.
Yeah, this is one of the top 3 or 4 crowds all season long. They love to see the Cubs come back and do some good.
Fly ball, right center, playable. Smith, the right fielder, makes the catch. And that's out number 1.
Stolen bases by the Cubs. They're sponsored by Turo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Get called safe with the Turo Tires. Find yours at Turo.com.
One away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs down by 3. The left-handed batting Moises Ballesteros steps in. And he'll hit one right off the end of the stick, foul toward third.
Ballesteros, the only Cub that's been on base twice. And he walked twice.
Stay tuned for the toast of the game ball player. Ron Coomer will be naming that in the 9th inning. And that's brought to you by Benny's Beverage Depot. A 1-1 to Ballesteros is a strike. Stay tuned for the Old National Bank Cubs radio postgame show with Zach Zaidman, the official bank of the Cubs radio network. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Ballesteros is out on strikes. The entire Cubs team slumping right now. It happens. It's always been a mystery.
Now,
Ramirez is going to be a pinch batter.
This is his first major league at bat, so he's making his major league debut as he calls timeout. Probably, I would assume, some butterflies down there right about now.
Pedro Ramirez, he's a switch hitter batting left-handed, and he will hit a ground ball to the right side. Matthews will throw him out, and the Cubs tiptoe through the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Houston 3, Cubs nothing. This is The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Chicago, this is Ian Happ. Pat and Ron call every
Oppo Taco.
I'm going to guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field. You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, you know, someone that's just nailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
Freddie Freeman with his second home run of the game. He had 2 in his previous 38 games. He's got 2 tonight.
This ball is rocked into the gap and off the top of the wall. Here comes James Wood, rounding third and heading home. Inside the park, grand slam.
Herrera has just won it with a walk-off big fly. And the crowd is going nuts here at Busch Stadium. A 3-run home run for Herrera.
24 and a third consecutive scoreless innings from the Miz. I mean, some of the swings that we're seeing against some really good hitters of the Chicago Cubs, they look like they have no chance against Jacob Mezorowski.
Marte, a fly ball. Guess what? The Diamondbacks win it. It's the first career walk-off home run for Ketel Marte. His second this season, his first ever walk-off homer.
Top of the 9th here at Wrigley Field. It's the Astros with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. The 9th inning is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Pat?
Carson Kelly now catching. Ninth inning, Astros coming up, leading 3-0. Cam Smith first up. Ryan Rollison, the new left-handed pitcher on the mound with a red glove. The lefty fires, the pitch fouled away by Smith. 0-1. Cubs pitching changes, always sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Glancing to the bottom of the ninth inning, Cubs are going to have Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Bregman due up. 9-1-2. Breaking ball missed. 1-1. Cubs leadoff man each and every day. Brought to you by Benny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Curveball drops low and inside. 2-1. It was 64 degrees at game time. It feels like it may have cooled off a little bit, but it's right around that same neighborhood. Low 60s. 2-1 pitch. Big chop right side. Fielded by Bush. The pitcher covers and the throw in time. Pretty good execution by Bush and Rollison. 2 down.
Well, this is going to be a tough play. I did not think that Rollison was going to be able to beat Smith to the bag, but he does to get the first out of the inning. That's a heck of a play.
Two down, nobody on. The batter, Zach Cole. And he will take down low for a ball. One ball and no strikes on Cole. Lefty to lefty, the pitch by Rollison. In there for a call strike. Zach?
You mentioned the game time temperature. It's 64 degrees. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Four Seasons.
And Zach, you are a trusted broadcast partner.
Why's that?
Because I lost the copy to read. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Zach Cole.
I thought you were doing a heck of a job going through those papers.
I went through every sheet of paper in my repertoire, and finally I got exhausted and just had to ask Zach for some help. And he came through, as always.
What do we say? They're live broadcasts, yeah.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. You know, you can sometimes say, brought to you by one of our great sponsors. Yeah. And here's the next pitch. Yeah. But it's just not. No. It's not as professional or as polite. Yeah. Here comes the 2-2 now to Cole. Breaking ball, a knee buckler called strike 3, and that's out number 2. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, a little slider right in the outside corner. Threw a couple of them. One he thought was a strike and did not get called, just maybe off the edge of the zone, just off the outside corner. And this one catches the zone for strike 3.
Let's get back to this date in baseball history. Ron Swoboda took up his position in right field, wearing a batting helmet on his foot. Are you ready for this? After he kicked the protective headgear, it got stuck on his spikes. And manager Casey Stengel ordered the young player to go out to the field with the helmet stuck to his foot.
How do you think the pitcher in that inning felt?
I'm going to make him hit it to left field.
Yeah.
Because the right fielder's not going to have a whole lot of mobility. Here comes the 1-1. Now, I've never seen a picture, oddly enough.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in New York, anything that happens, there's photographic evidence. I've never seen that photo. It might be just part of the Casey Stengel lore.
I think that's probably right.
Now, Zach, you're from New York. Have you ever heard of that story or seen that picture of Swoboda with the batting helmet on his foot out in right field?
I have not, but I'm looking for a picture as we speak.
Okay. Here's the 3-1. Knocked off the glove of Rollison. It's going to be an infield single. He knocked it down. The ball fell right at his feet. He was looking frantically around for it, and it was right down near his toes. He's okay. I think he got mainly glove on that hot smash.
Yeah, he waved off the trainers and like I was okay, but they're going to go out and check him anyway. Probably a good idea. Ball hit him in the foot and the heel of the spike. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. They're brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
I believe that was trainer Neil Ramp.
Yeah. The counts were out there to check on their left-hander.
It is an infield single. Cubs trail 3-0, top of the ninth inning, 2 down. Cesar Salazar at the plate. Lefty against lefty, Rollison to Salazar. It's up and in for a ball. Let's see what else we've got in baseball history here. Sean Green, this was his day, 2002. Pickoff throw to first, and the throw goes to second, and he's out. It's a pickoff score at 1-3-6, and that ends the inning. But Sean Green tied a baseball record by hitting 4 homers in a game at Milwaukee's Miller Park. He also had a single and a double. You talk about a big.
So the reason I got to Cooperstown is because I played with Cal and I played with Eddie and I played with some of the greatest players ever. And, you know, I just had to figure out how I did my job, and I was honored to have some of the best players that ever played put on uniforms, and they happen to be Oriole uniforms. If there's ever any doubt that I'm 78, all I got to do is look at my old cards and I know.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
And these days, that's priceless.
Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Elantra for $189 a month. Or choose to get $2,000 total savings. Offers end June 1st. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
Let's see if the Cubs can make some noise in this ninth inning. I know the fans are ready to do that. Curveball is outside. Called a strike, challenged by Dansby. Let's see what the verdict is as we watch the video. It was a strike, and it's 0-2.
Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
So the Cubs have used all of their challenges. Swanson with a single and a flyout.
Yep, this ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
He hits a tapper to third, glove by Paredes. The throw to first in time. And that's out number 1. Cubs with just 2 hits in this game. They managed only 4 hits in yesterday's game. They had only 2 hits in the Wednesday night finale against Milwaukee. So 3 straight games run and not more than 4 hits in any of the 3.
Yep.
Makes it very tough.
Opponent's pitching changes sponsored by Sloan. Official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, leader in smart water. Commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com.
Pete Crow Armstrong lines it foul down the right field line. 0-2.
Now, between yesterday and today, Pete has hit the ball on the barrel a bunch. He just missed hitting an extra base hit, the gap in right center's last AB. Now he's squaring balls up. That's a good sign for the Cubs.
0-2 pitch, swing and a foul. He stays alive. The catcher Salazar wants to get some kind of an appeal. Nope. He was pointing over to the dugout as if to say, I'm not sure what he was pointing over there for.
Because they wanted an appeal down to Bill Miller about the foul ball. And the home plate umpire, Chad Whitson, showed him the ball and showed him a big dark dirt spot on it from the foul tip into the dirt.
1-2 on Pete.
Years ago, that's what umpires would do. They'd look at the ball for the dirt or shoe polish with the old black shoes. They would always look.
Right. 1-2, check swing, foul back. 3-0 Houston, bottom of the 9th inning. One away, nobody on. Bregman on deck and then Bush. These fans have not given up. Curveball is low, 2-2. That had a big break to it.
King in the ball game. He pitched yesterday. He's got a good arm.
Brian King's next pitch is taken down low for ball 3. 3-2.
Hey, now the Cub fans trying to get into this game and try to help their ball club.
And the pitch by King, swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like a fastball inside, might have been elevated. Pete angry at himself for swinging at that pitch. He came up empty.
Yeah, just high fastball, about shoulder high inside. Pete chased it.
And the Cubs are down to their last chance. Alex Bregman needs to reach. 3-0 Astros. Bregman without a hit in 3 at-bats. And he'll take high for a ball. He'd gladly take a walk right now. Cubs need Horner to get up, because Horner would represent the tying run. Bush on deck. There's ball 3 outside. This would be a big break. The Astros are challenging that call. It's either going to be 2-1 or 3-0. And that's outside. It's 3-0. Not over yet.
Ball strike challenge once again, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
And now the 3-0. It's a strike. Bregman needs to reach. He lines a base hit to left center. Cubs are still alive. They need one more man to reach in order to get the tying run to the plate. Michael Bush ready to step in.
Bregman gets a little high fastball middle of the plate, but chest high, and he gets his hands on top of it and just hits a line drive to left center. Now we need Michael Bush to do the exact same thing and bring that tying run to the plate.
Bush today, 0 for 3. He'll take a strike. And now Bush is going to challenge the call. He thought it was down low, I believe.
Well, you got challenges. If it's a real close pitch, you might as well use them.
It was a strike.
Chicago has no challenges remaining.
So the Cubs have expired or expended all of their challenges.
Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
Shallow at third is Paredes. The lefty King on the mound fires. It's down low.
Big gap in right center field for Michael Bush.
Bregman not being held at first. Horner on deck. He would be the tying run if he gets up. The 1-1 to Bush. Ball 2 down low. Sometimes in a game, that final out is the most difficult one to get all day long. Bush trying to keep the Cubs alive. Hits one in the air, foul to left and out of play. Now the wind has changed. It is blowing toward left field all of a sudden. So that might come into play.
Well, you'd love to see Nico come to home plate. If Bushy can get on with the wind change going out to left.
There's a liner into left, right there to make the catch is Cole, and the ball game is over. And the Astros have made it 2 in a row over the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs' losing streak extends to 7 consecutive losses. Houston wins at 3-0. We'll be back with the totals in just a moment on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering every Cubs game all season long. Rahimi, Harrison, Grody, middays 10 to 2 on 104.3 The Score.
It's hard to imagine buying anything more important than your future home.
I know the place is empty, but do you hear that?
It sounds like Thanksgiving.
What about that puppy?